Hello. In the previous video, we discussed about the occupancy statistics for the room division. What is a occupied room? What is available room? What is a complementary room? What does goes into the available rooms? What is not available? So then you normally now have to calculate the occupancy percentages. We have already explained how do we calculate, but let's look at the formulas now. How do we calculate the different occupancies? Now the first formula, as you will see here, is the occupancy percentage. Occupancy percentage is calculated by room sold, which is the paid room sold, divided by the or rooms available. Now this occupancy percentage includes everything, which is occupancy, transient occupancy, group occupancy, complement contract occupancy, and also the occupancy by the occupancy percentage for complementary. So the room sold is basically, as we seen, the definition was room sold was number 10, which includes transient, group, and the contract guest only. Does not include the complementary room sold here, complementary rooms here. So the occupancy percentage, whenever we are talking about in the P&L, which will be depicting, or the statistics in the main P&L, will be shown as occupancy percentage. We are always talking about the rooms, actual rooms sold, which is means the transient, the group, and the contract. The complementary rooms sold are not included, or complementary room occupied are not included in the room sold. So that's why the hotel technically should never, in the P&L at least, will never be 100% occupied, unless there are no complementary room, no house use room, and the hotel is really full 100% by the complement, by the paying guest only. Then in that case it will be 100%. The rest of the cases it will not be 100%. Now the occupancy transient is fairly simple. The denominator here is rooms available. Here again, the room available is total room inventory minus rooms which are not available for sale. So which are those rooms? The rooms not available for sale, as we discussed, were seasonally closed room minus permanent house use minus the rooms closed for discretionary purpose or renovation or for any extended period of time for more than 6 months. Those rooms are not included in the rooms available calculation here. So every month on a month, you need to tell the users how many rooms were available, how many rooms were sold, what was the occupancy percentage, what was the ADR, which we're gonna next, and what was the RevPAR, which we're gonna see next. And then you have complementary occupancy. Now this occupancy is just only for the purpose to know really how many rooms were occupied without any payment, so that the management can make a decision, was it too much or was it too less. So you can compare on a month by month. The next, as we discussed in the previous video, is average length of stay, which is calculated by rooms occupied. Now here rooms occupied includes everything, whether they are complementary or they are for the room transient room. So it will include the total rooms occupied, paid room sold plus the complementary rooms occupied. That will become room occupied. Divide by the number of arrivals. Number of arrivals means number of check-in, whether paid or for complimentary, so that we can understand on an average guest is staying for how many days in the hotel. The average length of stay will change from one period to another period. Usually the hotels also are calculating this by market segment. So average length of stay for group, average length of stay for transient, average length of stay for the complementary or the contract. You can calculate average length of stay by nationality as well, based on just calculating room occupied and number of arrivals for each particular type of nationality. uh, Chinese are staying for how many days, Europeans are staying for how many days, Indians are staying for how many days. It will help the marketing strategist or the revenue managers to really understand what kind of promotions they should be doing, what kind of sales and marketing strategy they can implement to improve the occupancy of the hotel or the business of the hotel. One thing which is not included here is the average guest per occupied room, which this statistics again is also an important one, so that you can really understand how many amenities you need to put into the room for the guest. Also, that statistic can also be calculated by the for the nationality, by the market segment, which we have discussed earlier, so that you have much more understanding and much deeper understanding of your hotel business. The next thing that you normally have to calculate is the occupants, the revenue matrices, which we're going to discuss in the next video.